Greetings, everyone. Once again from Christchurch, Missoula. This is Pastor Flynn with our weekly meditation. And this week's meditation is from Zechariah 9:9. Rejoice greatly, O daughter of Zion. Shout, O daughter of Jerusalem. Behold, your king is coming to you. He is just and having salvation, lowly and riding on a donkey. Well, normally, this prophecy is called to mind around Easter and not during the season of Epiphany, which is what we're in right now. On Palm Sunday, of course, Jesus rode a donkey into Jerusalem, and Matthew tells us that this was a fulfillment of Zechariah's prophecy that we just read. Now, often, that's as far as the teaching concerning this passage goes. Zechariah said the Messiah would ride into Jerusalem on a donkey, and Jesus did just that. Cool. But there is much more going on than just donkey riding and just the fact that this was a future fulfillment that was predicted by Zechariah that Jesus would fulfill. And there's much more going on, and it's absolutely a part of the message of Epiphany as well as Easter. So you may remember that King David, when he was dying, his son Adonijah actually began to assert himself as the next king instead of Solomon. And in order to end the confusion that had arisen about this, who's going to be king, and to authoritatively declare that Solomon was to be the heir of David, to be the next king, David has Solomon ride into Jerusalem on his own donkey. And with Nathan the prophet and Zadok the priest and a bunch of people all rejoicing and walking with King Solomon and proclaiming, "Long live King Solomon." This event foreshadowed Jesus's triumphant entry, which is often what we call his riding, when Jesus was riding his donkey into Jerusalem right before the Passion Week, or at the beginning of the Passion Week. Jesus coming into Jerusalem as the greater Solomon, surrounded by people and children, proclaiming Jesus as the rightful king, the rightful heir to the throne of David, something that the Magi did at his birth. Jesus is king. When we look at the prophecy of Zechariah, Zechariah goes on and declares that Jesus, the Messiah, the donkey-riding king, is indeed the rightful king, sitting on the throne of his father David. But unlike Solomon, the prophecy of Zechariah declares that this king is going to be rejected and will be crucified. And Zechariah also proclaims judgment on all the nations, including Jerusalem. And at the end of Zechariah, it also proclaims that Jerusalem will be blessed, and it can be a little confusing at first reading in Zechariah, but what's confusing there, Jesus makes clear. When Jesus sees Jerusalem, as he's riding on his donkey in the triumphant entry, once he sees it, he weeps, and he pronounces its destruction at his arrival in Luke chapter 19, verses 41 through 44. The greater Solomon has come to destroy the old Jerusalem. He will destroy the old temple, and he will destroy the old priesthood, all of whom have rejected their king. Jerusalem has become Babylon and will face destruction, as Revelation chapter 17 and 18 makes clear. But Jesus has not just come to destroy, he has come to build, like Solomon did. The greater Solomon is going to build a temple. He is going to build a new temple, a glorious temple. And he is going to build a new Jerusalem, a new heavenly kingdom whose domain will be over the entire earth and indeed heaven. Zechariah declares at the end of his prophecy that Jesus arriving on a donkey is the announcement of the great day of the Lord, where he will destroy his enemies and establish his eternal rule as king over all the earth and heaven. His new Jerusalem is the church, a temple city made of living stones, the Israel of God, indwelt by the Holy Spirit, who since Pentecost flows like a river of living waters covering the earth. All nations, Zechariah declares, will bring their sacrifices to this king, celebrating the new Feast of Tabernacles, with the King of heaven and earth, whose tabernacle is now, his dwelling place is now with the nations who worship him, as it says in Revelation 21, verse 3. This glorious truth, this glorious proclamation, all of this just from riding a donkey. Thanks for listening. Lord bless you. Until next time, Emmanuel.